Kevin's wheeling the bike in here, but just to go over a little bit of background about sort of AutoBike, kind of where we come from is we grew up together. We're from Michigan, and basically bike riding was like our ticket to freedom. You know, it was before we had cars and before we met girls, it was basically our way of getting out there and seeing the world. And what we've tried to do now is kind of bring back, like really focus on the experience. It's not about the exact bike you're riding. It's not about carbon fiber wheels, but it's really about bringing that bike riding experience back to more people, getting more people to bike and more often. And sort of AutoBike as a company is what is our means for trying to get more people on bikes to enjoy it like we do. So kind of want to kind of start with kind of our motivations and kind of go into sort of the journey that we've taken. We started that, I got our first prototype in October 2011. You can see there's actually a Ziploc bag, that's the weatherproofing on it. Really the focus was, can we get this riding experience that we want? At its core, it's an automatic shifting bike. It doesn't have a derailleur, so literally you just get on the bike and ride. It always feels like you're in the right gear. We let the user manipulate how that feeling is, whether it's hard or soft. But inevitably you set it, you forget it, and it always feels like you're in the right gear, whether you're going uphill, downhill, fast or slow. And so we started with that and said, can we make just this riding experience exist? And that's where we were. That's where we were in October of last year. In January we said, okay, can we start using more production intent equipment? So myself, I have a background, a mechanical engineer. I worked at General Motors. One of the other co-founders also worked there. Pretty much all of our team has at one point worked for GM or one of the suppliers of GM. So we have a real strong kind of automotive background and sort of working through, let's get this riding experience done and let's move down. So in January we had, there's still a big lunchbox on the back of the bike, but we improved sort of the riding and started using production sensors. Then in April, we actually got to a point where it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but we're still using someone else's frame. It's kind of a bolt-on. It works really good, but it's still not there from a sort of production standpoint. And then we've had a couple of iterations in kind of where we're at today, which is we're close to being at today. Is we actually have our own bicycle that integrates our core technology, which is the sort of automatic shifting system. And together we've created this bicycle that literally the technology can apply to a bunch of different styles of bicycles, but we focused to start on sort of this cruiser style bicycle because that's kind of we see a lot of it, especially like bike rentals. There's a lot of people going that just want to get on bicycles that aren't really concerned about having the lightest bike. They don't want the carbon fiber bike. They really just want something they can get on, get exercise, enjoy it with their friends and family, and that's what we've sort of started with. But the technology that we've created is equally applicable on a number of different styles of bikes, which is sort of where we go, from here. In terms of a business model, basically we design the bike frame ourselves so it integrates our components. We've designed our components and then we've leveraged a lot of off-the-shelf components. So, headset, handlebars, wheels, those are all off-the-shelf components. We provide, sort of what we call the proprietary elements, or the parts that sort of, the secret sauce to it. And then, which is at its core, it's basically a small microcontroller that takes into account the rider's condition, and then with that information determines what the best gear ratio is, and then seamlessly moves that using a CVT, a continuously variable transmission, so you're always in that gear ratio. You just get on and ride, and it always feels like the perfect gear. So that's kind of how we've attacked it. So today where we have is sort of this style bicycle. In a couple of weeks we're going to have our final components. Right now we have a development controller on it, so it's still kind of ugly, but we actually have where you see the black chain guard with our controller that integrates behind it. All those components are done. They're in final test. So very soon we're going to have a completely production bicycle, of our first model. So that's sort of what, where we're at now, and then kind of where we want to go with it is using this technology on other styles of bikes, whether it's a mountain bike or more of a road bike style. So here's our team. We have, our background, I guess, is 3 or 4 mechanical engineers. One of them that's, doesn't like to be called a mechanical engineer, we like to call it a designer, so that's why I said 3 or 4. And then we have an embedded controls expert as well. So basically we've developed the entire bike as well as the control system that enables this riding experience. And that's I'm out of time here, so any questions, I'd love to take them.
Two-part question. First, how is it powered? And second, do you envision equipment that could be put on any type of bike?
Yeah, first question was how's it powered? We're using a front hub dynamo, so we're actually, the rider themselves is creating the power, which recharges a small battery that we have on board. So literally, you never need to plug it in, you just get on the ride and sort of, we're kind of wanting to keep that simple. It actually like turns itself on automatically based on the front hub dynamo, and then will turn itself off. So you just get on the bike and ride, you don't have to worry about charging any of that. The second was working with like OEMs to put our system on their bikes. That's kind of where we started, and we hope that we'll be able to get enough traction where they come to us and ask. But what we found was their development cycles were a little bit slow, and they had their own ideas for how to use the technology that sort of didn't match up with the riding experience that we wanted. And we thought that we'd be better off controlling that, getting this riding experience out there, and sort of showing them why this way is the right way to do it, as far as we know. And then sort of later being able to team up with them, because we'd love to sell our own models with our system on it, but we'd also love to partner with OEMs that would feature our core shifting technology. Yes, sir.
I'm not an expert in bikes, but you obviously are experts. There was a very big hype in the last week about the new bike simple or whatever the name is. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. The new bike that was designed by Bicycle, I think it's called. A new type of bike. And I was curious, he also designed a new bike with all kinds of things in place. I'm curious if you if you know about it, and B, what is your take about that, and what is your differentiation versus what he's doing?
Yeah, sorry, there was a question about Bike Simple. Was that the name?
I think it's written B-I-C-Y-M-P-L-E.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that particular bike. There are other bikes that have tried to go after sort of the automatic shifting, and I think from what we've actually got those bikes, we ride them all the time just to kind of keep level setting ourselves. And then they really their goal, the project was to automate the shifting process versus what we want to do is create this automatic riding experience. The difference being they still use derailleurs. The derailleur automatically shifts, so technically it's automatic shifting. But when we thought people were thinking of automatic, they're thinking of like automatic car. I just get in, I hit the gas pedal, and go. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm not worrying about preempting shifts, hard shifts, limited number of gears. Like just get on and go and always feel like they're in that right gear. And so by focusing just on that and then kind of working backwards from that, we think our riding experience is, there's nothing else like it on the market. Yes, sir.
Given that you've got a microcontroller in it, I was wondering if you'd given any thought to having an instant volume. It seems like people would be able to get like this one sort of solve system.
Yeah, you guys are asking perfect questions. We actually have Bluetooth integrated on it so that you can actually change the riding characteristics via your phone or via simple buttons on the bike itself. And we think, for the future that there's also ways you can kind of gamify that where, you can set new targets. Like we're already calculating how fast you're going, what grade you're on, how many calories you're burning. Like you can turn that into, right to your phone and say, hey, I'm tracking all this stuff. A lot of people track all that anyway, so we kind of already have that two-way communication set up between the rider and the bike itself.
Is the battery chargeable, or
Yeah, it's a rechargeable battery, lithium-based battery that we basically use the front of dynamo to constantly flow charge.
Chris, what's the weight time difference?
So weight-wise, a normal cruiser bike is going to be in like the low 30s for poundage. As far as the delta goes, we're probably adding between 2 and 3 pounds to whatever bicycle we put on. So if it's a road bike, it goes from 15 pounds to 18 pounds. So that's a decent penalty for people that are really hardcore riders. But we think most people that be interested in this are more about the experience, not about like kind of saving shitting weight. And that's all we would have.
What's the price point?
This one's going to start at $1,000. And I'm sorry, I don't want to go too late, but we'll have this bike downstairs, but I want to test ride it, so we'd love to.